Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to check fresh release from Eduard. This kit is modded in 1/48 scale and it is part of the weekend edition. And as you can see, plastic copy is famous Spitfire, it's Spitfire LF Mk.IXc. Here you can see both marking options. This is a weekend edition, so that's why we have only two marking options included. And overall style hints, you should easily understand that this is a weekend edition kit because of this blue box. So this is a commercial sample. It means that you will get exactly the same kit if you order it from official Eduard webshop. And now we have a chance to open it and take a look inside. First of all, here you can see comparison with my hand. It's a typical Eduard box size. This format is a slim format, so as you can see it's slightly slimmer than the typical or classic Profit Pack box. Here we have some information about the manufacturer, marking option, and also kit number with Eduard website. Here we have the necessary or required paint shades. Here we have both markings. So as you can see, both aircraft are operated in 1944. And that's pretty much all. So let's open it. It's a top opening box, by the way. And here is what we have inside. So as you can see, there are several plastic bags with sprues, assembly manual and decals sheet on the bottom, but we will start with plastic sprues obviously. So let's move it like this and check this plastic bag. So just give me a second. Okay, so here we have gray plastic sprues which are packed together with transparent plastic sprue. Of course, I would like to start with clear plastic. As you can see, it is packed into the separate plastic bag. And one part broken off due to tight packaging, but nothing serious because it broken off on the attachment point, as you can see here. And I can zoom in so that you can see it in detail. Let's try to refocus the camera. Now you should be able to see it. So here you can see it. It's the main section which will be used for the closed version because it is molded with rear section. And once again, I remind you that part is not damaged, so everything should be fine as long as you carefully separate it from this tab. Next we have the sprue itself. So let's refocus the camera back. Here we have various clear elements, even some antennas, and of course with those parts you should be able to replicate the open cockpit as well. Masks are not included, but this is a traditional feature of weekend edition kits. You can get masks separately. Eduard should sell them for sure, so if you don't want to waste your time masking all those clear parts, then you should try getting the aftermarket set from Eduard. Next we have a gray plastic sprue. Let's zoom out. Here we have wing parts. So parts division is typical. We have two top halves and one bottom. Of course air intakes are molded separately, but for flaps you need a PE set which is sold separately because you can't retract the flaps here due to such kit design. So let's zoom in and do the zoom mode. I don't see any possible problems with molding quality, everything looks molded in a clean way, let's say, without any possible problems. So we move on with the next plastic sprue. Here it is. This one is dedicated to fuselage halves, obviously, and also we have the cowling parts and also parts for the chin panels, so it's so called. So here you can see those two halves will be used for the top cowling part, those parts will be used for the chin panel. I'm not sure about this design because, as you can see, the top cover will be assembled out of two halves, even though it could have been one-piece part. Eduard sells the one-piece part as a resin upgrade. So if you don't want to, let's say, work with such parts design, you can just go buy a resin set and be good to go. So let's zoom in and do the zoom session for these parts as well. There are guiding pins inside, so it should be easy to combine all those parts together, but still you would have to pay attention, especially with those cowling parts. Here we have the next plastic bag with a pair of large sprues, which actually influence the size of this box, let's say. So on the first frame we have mix of various parts. Here you can see them. So we have here almost every possible part. So it comes from propeller with, as you can see, attachment points placed inside in the area where they won't be visible, and up to, for example, the tires, also landing gear wheel wells. Here we have the propeller hub, which is molded as one piece, radiator parts, landing gear legs, and also main gun barrels, which are molded as one piece parts. So let's zoom in and check all those parts closer. So again, we can see that molding quality looks really good, there are no complaints whatsoever, and we can move on to the next plastic sprue. So here we have the last gray plastic sprue with various elements for internal and external detailing. Here I should remind you that engine is not included in the standard kit version, but you can replicate it with help of bracing kit. And the same can be said about the cockpit. Cockpit is quite nice in out of the box version, but it can be even better if you get the bracing kit. And now let's zoom in and do the zoom mode with all those parts. Okay, so that was the last gray plastic sprue, and we can move on to various bonuses which are included into this kit. This plastic bag comes standard. We have here 2 decals sheets, so just give me a second to open them, and we will take a closer look. As you can guess, 2 decals sheets are dedicated to main symbols and to the stencils. So here we can see the stencil sheet, and as you can see, it was printed in 2013. So even though it feels like Spitfire came out last year, well, it's almost 6 years past from the first premiere date. And then we have also another decals sheet. Here we will find all necessary symbols for 2 marking options, but note that we also have the decals for the cockpit seat belts and the dashboard. This might be handy to replicate, well, at least to have a more or less nice cockpit out of the box. But of course, if you would like to have more, at least get the P thread, because you will be satisfied with the result once you apply all those parts in place. So here we have the assembly manual. This one is a typical Eduard brochure. As you can see, we have parts map. Note that many parts won't be used, they will go straight to your spare parts box. Next, we continue with starting the assembly with a cockpit. Here we assemble the pilot seat, for example, join everything together with one of the walls, install the pedals, install another wall. Then here you have to cut the plastic bit, but this modification is done only for the closed canopy, so keep it in mind. Here we join fuselage halves together with cockpit, as you can see. Then we continue with wing, so we start assembling the wheel wells. Here we continue and then close everything with top wing halves. Here we have the exhaust assembly. Then we join those cowling parts together, and note that different markings require different parts, so be sure to install the right ones. Here we work on the elevators and rudder. Here we install the ailerons. Then we continue with this channel panel, and it should be glued from 2 halves as well, so be careful with this. Next is a landing gear system. Then we continue with canopy and propeller. And for open and closed version aircraft, you will need different parts, so don't forget it. Here we have 2 marking options. Both, as I said, come from 1944 and both were flying over the France. And here we have the stenciling guide for this aircraft. So that's the final component of this kit. In my opinion, this might be an interesting choice for those who would like to copy the famous British fighter in a popular 1/48 scale. Price should be quite reasonable. So in my opinion, it's worth checking this kit, at least checking. But you can also add a huge amount of accessories which are produced by Eduard, so I guess there won't be any possible problem. And of course I will be happy to hear your opinion about this kit. Write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button, and of course subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Bye.